Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to another episode of Dads from the Crypt, episode 198, almost to the 200s. My name is Jason. I'll be your host tonight in 3D. Joining me is Jody, also in 3D.
Hello.
And then we have Rachel from the Zombie Girls, not in 3D tonight. Sorry.
No, I come here for all the D. That's what I'm doing here.
And she's off.
We're off to a great start. Already ready to go. Let's do it.
I mean, are you kidding? The minute you're like, you want to do 3D, I was like, so many D jokes. Oh my God, they're writing this for me.
Tonight we are reviewing. Hot Jaws Summer is continuing in 3D because we're reviewing Jaws 3D, and I'm taking these freaking things off because it's really, really annoying.
Yes, it is.
But oof, yeah, that's a transition. But yes, we're continuing our Hot Jaws Summer with Jaws 3. We also have reviews on Jaws 1 and 2. If you go in our most recent episodes. But before we do that, Rachel, it's been a minute since you've been on. What's new with you and the Zombie Girls and the More Deadly?
So things are chugging along. We're actually now putting out More Deadly every single week. So you can look forward to our next episode is going to be on the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, woman directed in theaters, which is very exciting.
Who's directing that one?
You're putting me on the spot. I can't remember. I think it's Caitlin. No, Kristen. Nope. Can't do it. Sorry. Tried to pull it out of my ass.
I have internet too.
Yeah. I have it in my notes. I will know it by next week.
Jennifer Caton Robinson.
See, I knew there was like a Caton in there somewhere, but I couldn't get it.
Oh,
couldn't do it.
She helped write Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
She's
actually done a couple of really interesting things. She did some like MTV series that I liked that were like sort of like
nice.
YA rape revenge drama. So
for kids.
So, yeah, for kids. For the whole fam.
Have you seen the new I Know What You Did Last Summer movie yet?
No, I'm gonna see it I think this weekend. When it opens this weekend, I'm gonna go and like see it in the theater with the peoples. And like it's gonna be like, women directed horror church. I'm gonna go get the Holy Spirit with the peoples, with the whole congregation.
That's awesome.
Have you seen it yet? I mean, you have a tendency to see things even earlier
than I
do.
No.
Not this one, huh?
Not this one.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And any other episodes of note recently with any director interviews you want to?
Sure. We just did one with what you're asking me names and suddenly I can't think. I don't even know my own name. We just did one for Please Don't Feed the Children with actually this is actually appropriate because it's the feature directorial debut of Steven Spielberg's daughter, whose first name is completely eluding me, but her last name is Spielberg, and we had a great conversation. That was a lot of fun. I would definitely check out that episode. I'm trying to think what else we have on the docket. We're like gearing up for our big Red Sonja show, which I'm excited about. As someone who loves all of those sort of action, adventure, monster, sword and sandal things from childhood, this is, I think, the first woman directed one, so I'm very excited about that. But yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff planned over at More Deadly, so definitely come check it out.
Awesome. All right. I don't think we have any announcements this week, but Mondo's in Germany, so send out some love to him. Jody. All right. Just threw me off. Jaws 3D released July 22nd, 1983. So keep in mind, this is the last one was like 78. So this is only 5 years at least in real time. Characters have aged quite a bit. I don't know if they two Jaws attacks aged them, but it's some interesting timey-wimey stuff.
These boys age fast after living on Amity.
Yeah.
They didn't understand how UVs worked. Everybody's aging faster. That's just how it worked.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Jody, give us a plot synopsis.
All right. This is my first time watching it, so
yes,
I watched it in 3D. So this is all I experienced it as they would have in 1983. All right, so in this movie, Sheriff Brody's sons are the main characters for some reason. One of them, Mike, the older son, is working as an engineer at SeaWorld Orlando, along with his girlfriend, Kay Morgan, who is the park's senior biologist. They have this whole new system set up. There's this cool, like, underwater tunnel thing where you can see all the fish. But a great white shark manages to sneak into the park. It is like this park is very much connected to the ocean. Like it's got a little lagoon that's like the park area, and then the ocean on the other side of this gate. Well, a shark gets through the gate, and they first notice it because the dolphins are scared. And then later they hire this adventurer and hunter to come in. He's the most Australian man ever with his Australian partner. They are very close. They're good friends, as history would call them.
They were roommates.
Sure.
A little bit Bert in any situation.
Yeah. So that night, a mechanic dives into the water to secure the gates, and he is attacked and killed by the shark, and his right arm floats up into the camera in 3D. And then Mike's brother Sean comes, just because we need to have two Brodies in this movie. What is Sean's purpose in this movie? To blow it with Leah Thompson, as far as I'm concerned. He is very dull, and Leah Thompson is 22 in this movie, so he is blowing it bad. The next day, Kay and Mike are informed of this dude's disappearance, and they go down and look for him. And when they do, they encounter a great white shark about 10 feet long. The dolphins rescue them through some cool, like, hold on to the fin, and the dolphins take off swimming. Cool stuff. And so they come back and they inform their boss, who I haven't mentioned yet, but he's played by Lou Gossett Jr. And it's all the incompetence of the mayor, but cool. Like, there's something about this guy. He's just as bad about, like, hey, let's do stupid stuff without asking any experts, but he's kind of cool about it. So you can forget
swag.
That's right.
And he's got that like Louisiana accent going.
That's right.
Broussard.
So they tell him, hey, we found this shark in the water. And he and the adventurer's first thought is, what if we killed it on live TV? Which, I don't know, that seems bad. Like bad TV to me. Murder this animal. Cannibal Holocaust.
It's
live at
1983. That's Prime TV.
I guess.
But this is also SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Tune in for the murder of a shark here at SeaWorld. But anyway, Kay says, hey, why don't we, capture it and maybe like put it on exhibit here? No one else has a great white shark. And so they do. But they really quickly are reminded why no one else has a great white shark in captivity, because they die in captivity. Great white shark cannot survive in captivity. And so it dies. And then the corpse of the guy from earlier is discovered in one of the tanks. Like, people are looking out at fish swimming by and a dead body floats up. And so they examine the body, realize that a shark bit it, but not this little puny 10-foot long shark, one that has to be at least 35 feet long. And it's the mother of the shark that we have been seeing so far. And so let us see, I'm trying to remember what happens next. So they want to get this shark back into the pipe where it has been hiding this entire time. And so they get the shark to like back up into the pipe, which is not a thing sharks can do. Like, back up. This scene is so dark, by the way. I couldn't tell anything going on. It is so dark. There is a shark, there is the adventurer guy, and he just like crawls into the shark's mouth and dies. Like there's no like fighting.
You see the most important part, though. You do see the most important part, which is the
it looks kind of comfy
shot.
in there. I'm not gonna lie. It looked kind of comfy in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just slides down into the shark's mouth. And then because the owner of the park, Mr. Bouchard, likes to do the worst thing possible in every situation, he's like, let's suffocate that shark and turn off the pumps, which means nothing's pushing the shark away from the gates. So they knock the gates open. I forgot. Meanwhile, earlier when the shark was out, he damaged some of the underwater pipes for the SeaWorld attraction, and people are trapped down there. And so the oldest Brody, Mike, is that right? Mike, yes.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike and his girlfriend have gone down to deal with the sharks or deal with the leaky pipes, and the shark gets out and comes after them. And once again, the dolphins save them, and they escape and get into the control room where Bouchard and some of his techs are. And then in an infamous scene, the shark, looking very much like a sticker, just floats slowly up to a piece of glass, and the glass explodes and fills the room with water. And they look inside the shark's mouth, and the adventurer who was swallowed earlier, his arm is just sticking out, holding a grenade without the pin pulled. And so they pull the pin, and the shark explodes with his jaw coming close to the camera in 3D. And that's pretty much it. They just float to the top, and Kay does not ask about the people. Like, are the people okay? She's like, are the dolphins okay? Did my boss die? Who cares? But the dolphins, but they're fine. The dolphins are fine. Everyone's fine. It's no big deal.
And then there's a glorious
Those were my
freeze frame.
priorities.
There's a glorious freeze frame. Yes.
Yeah, with like the 3D. So the were the dolphins like 3D on the sides? Is that what they were going for? Okay.
Yeah, they sure were. Framing it in with dolphins.
Amazing. It looks like some sort of like hippy dippy meditation psychedelic app on YouTube or something. It's kind of incredible.
All right, Rachel, you're our guest. You get to go first. What do you think of this movie?
I think I'm going to disappoint you, Jason, by having very positive things to say about this movie. So, like, it has been many years since I've seen the original Jaws. You know what I mean? So I'm not really comparing apples to oranges here. I had never seen this. This is a first time watch. I went in with very, very low expectations. And I think I really set myself up for success with this movie. I mean, I don't think you would say that this movie is good in any sort of traditional sense. There is a lot of technical issues and story issues and performance issues and basically all the issues, and yet it is so camp that I couldn't help but find myself just having a ton of fun watching it. From the shark chasing like a pyramid of like water skiers to that POV shot of like from inside the shark as it's just like chomping. And then, as you said, Lou Gossett Jr. is just absolutely chewing up every single bit of scenery that a shark has not gotten to first. And so I laughed a lot. I was charmed by the very, very shaggy edges and the horrendous 3D effects. I think Dennis Quaid is very strangely cast in this film, and as we know, high as fuck. But I did actually genuinely like Dr. Catherine Morgan, who is the marine biologist / dolphin trainer in this. She's a scientist that actually does science throughout the entire film. She is involved in every bit of the like action scene. She's not like a damsel in distress left by the side or the most qualified person in the room who gets sidelined to allow our hero to become ascendant in the end. She is tenacious and skilled and smart, and I loved that about this. And I was kind of really surprised by how progressive this character was and refreshing, particularly in 1983. And on top of it, she don't take shit. Like when one of the roommates tries to like slide into her 1980s DMs, she's having no part of it, but she does it in a very sort of classy and effective way. I really actually found the character very compelling. And I liked the continuation of the very obvious anti-capitalist undercurrent of the film. Company men are treated like they are as slimy and gross and capitalist as they are, and you know, as their ethics or lack thereof are. So yeah, to me, it felt like I was watching like a 1980s or 70s film based on like a Michael Crichton book, because it's like sort of like science adjacent. But yeah, I don't know. I really had a lot of fun with this movie. When you say you won't watch it for another 10 years, I would absolutely put this on, especially with like a crowd of people. This feels to me like a total crowd watch. Like if we were still renting theaters, this is one I would want to do it with, because I just feel like you'd have so much fun, like shoving popcorn in your face and laughing along with all the special effects. I don't know. I like this.
Well, nothing wrong with that, especially for, again, I knew you would gravitate to the campiness.
Yeah.
No. I knew when I actually come on, I was like, this is a very campy movie, and I want Rachel to appreciate that. I know you've never seen it before, so that makes me even more tickled.
Yeah. I've only
So
ever
my
seen
question
the
is,
original Jaws. So
what?
yeah. I've only ever seen the original Jaws like once or twice. I've
I
never
would-
seen any of the sequels.
I was in the same boat when we started this series.
So then my question is, watching this movie and when there's like the kind of quote twist that there's like two sharks, like were you guys expecting that? Like what did you think of that? How'd you
Well, I mean, the
react?
poster said it was a 35-foot shark, and I was like, that shark ain't 30. Like, I'm not a
Yeah.
size queen, but that's not a 35-foot shark. That's just math.
Oh, that's going on TikTok. That's gold right there.
No, Jesus Christ! Every time.
A shark size queen.
No.
But yeah, no, I just the little shark that they caught, I was pretty sure wasn't the right shark, just because what's Jaws with a 10-foot shark? That's very boring.
Yeah.
We need a bigger shark. You need a bigger boat. It's like the
Yeah.
tagline.
Yeah, the tagline for this. You need a smaller boat. Do you have a raft?
There you go. Yeah, it's funny because I remember watching this as a kid, and when you're a kid, you have a very selective memory.
Mhm.
So I don't really remember much of what's the first half of this movie. I just remember the people being trapped in the tunnel underwater and thinking that was terrifying.
Mhm.
And I remember the last scene. So to me, like that's the whole movie. And it's like only like 5 minutes in actuality. It's like watching the movie The Wizard and just thinking it's like a fun movie where kids go to Universal to play video games and forget about
Is
the
that
whole.
not what that movie is? Because that's exactly how I remember that movie. I just remember a
Well, no,
power glove coming out at the
there's
end.
the whole it's the whole point is that his sister died and like it's the whole like thing. Exactly.
What? I do not remember.
Yeah,
that
rewatch
at all.
it.
Yeah.
You'll thank me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a beautiful mess. Like, yeah, the plot is all over the place. Like, the brothers, there's no reason. Sean has nothing to do with anything that happens in this movie. He could just be completely cut out, and the movie would be exactly the same.
I mean, there's really no reason for Mike to be a Brody. Even he could just be some guy.
Yeah,
like,
that's just to connect it to the other. That's connected to the
Yeah, I'm
quote
just saying.
franchise. Okay, fine, whatever. But like, he doesn't overcome a fear of water or like it doesn't like none of that actually helps him in any way.
No arc. He's just like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I was right. Stay out of the water. Even bumper boats aren't safe.
And like the effect on one hand, I tried to give the effects a little bit. One, they're trying to do a lot for the time frame. They can only really do so much. And also watching it not in 3D, they kind of like you can tell they like digitally manipulate stuff, but like so like a lot of it is not in focus, which on the normal movie would be really, you really ding it for. But on this one, it's like, well, it was supposed to be in 3D, so maybe it's not the right depth of field or something. So like, there's room to be a little bit generous for this movie. But like, this is not, the shark just doesn't look good. It just looks like a humongous, like something from like an amusement park ride or something that just kind of like goes, like it doesn't have any dynamic. Like that scene where crashes into the glass is like laughable because you can't even see where the glass is. The shark hits it, there's like no impact. It's just like someone in like their tub playing with a toy, like with like those little plastic sharks that you had as a kid. It's not that.
You need to look online because I did some reading about these effects because they kind of blew my mind. Even for 1983, they're terrible. But they had originally done them a completely different way and then redid them, and this was the call they made. And there's a picture of what the scene with the shark hitting the glass. There's a still from it, and it looks so much better because it looks like a shark underwater and not like with the digital compositing thing that they did, like it literally looks like a cutout. It has a black thick bar around the edge of it, like you were drawing.
I mean, for the people watching on YouTube, we have a picture of the shark. You can see the black outline.
Yeah,
but again,
this was
there's like two ways to. But it's like again, like Rachel was saying, like this would play great with a crowd and in a big fun group of people with a few beers, but like on a movie level, it's just
right.
Not
totally.
Yeah, And so I'm watching all these with my wife, who has never seen any of the sequels either. And she was just like, "Is this supposed to be a romantic comedy?" Like for the first half, because we usually like watch movies over 2 nights, so we stop before things really pop off. And she was like annoyed because she keeps calling him sweetie at work, and like the like there's a lot of public displays of affection that she was thinking was really weird for two coworkers to be doing in front of
Did it have
everybody.
HR in '83? I don't even know if they had HR.
Yeah,
I mean,
so, I
I'm
mean,
just glad he wasn't like pinching her butt every time she walked by.
well, like at one point, he like
Nice
puts his
boss.
hand on her face and pushes her in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of little bits of weirdness. I kind of love the two. I can't tell if they're supposed to be British or Australian because I saw one of the guys is actually he was born in London, but they seem very Australian.
They just have an Australian vibe to them.
Yeah,
It's an
they're
intensity
kind
and
of
a
fun.
passion for sharks.
They're just kind of fun. I don't know. I kind of enjoy them.
Which, by the way, we just found out today or yesterday that our friend from Australia, Andy, has done the shark cage diving thing before. Because of course he has. Of course he has.
Yeah.
He lives in Australia. That's what you do.
I mean,
Like, we
there's
have
shark
bounce-
diving
we have, like-
near me. If you guys want to come do shark diving, there is an island right by me called Tiburon where they do shark cage diving. I've never been in a shark cave. I have seen a great white, but I've never been in a cave
really?
one. So,
I want to
Where
see a
did
great white so bad, and that's the only way to see them, really.
well, they briefly had one in an aquarium here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Oh,
It was a juvenile, and it was in this gigantic tank that like you swim. It surrounds you, so you stand in the middle of the room and they swim around you. If you watch like one of the Star Trek movies, that's it shot.
Oh
there.
yeah.
But there's tons and tons of fish, including a lot of sharks in there. And I was like, I don't know. I hope I can spot it. It's really, there's so much going on here. And then it came around the corner. I was like, nope, there it is. Right there. No doubt about it. It was a juvenile. It was probably about 10 feet, probably like the one in this movie, the original one in this movie. But you just like sense you are in the presence of an apex predator when that thing comes around the corner.
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and then you think about the scene in the movie where they put the shark on display, and it's like people can reach their hands in the water. There's like no guardrail or anything. Like that's still a great white,
I mean, the 80s were a wild time. I don't know what to tell you.
right? People just like literally reach in and like pet the shark if they want. Like I've been to places where you can pet like a sand shark or whatever it is,
Yep.
like
Mhm.
little sharks. Done that, but this is a great white. They're putting in this like 20-yard tank. What?
Now,
Like
to
20
be
yards long.
fair, the reason why he was in that tank was directly Bouchard saying, "Hey,
Right.
put it in that tank and put it on display." So yeah, more capitalism.
Mhm. Mhm.
Jody, what'd you think?
Oh, I mean, a very silly movie with a pretty silly premise, but a fun setting. I'm already on board for most of this. Like, I loved this version of SeaWorld from 1983 because it reminds me of going to amusement parks as a kid. When growing up in Tennessee, we had one in Nashville called Opryland, Grand Ole Opry. And like the things that they were doing out there with like they were doing some little dances, wearing like old time costumes, and the people on the water ski. That's exactly what I remember amusement parks being like as a kid. And so I was having fun just watching that. And then you have the shark, you have, Dennis Quaid on a mountain of coke. He said in an interview, every single scene, every frame of this movie, he is on coke.
I didn't
And
need
you-
him to tell me that. I knew.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell. But it's that just gives it that kind of over the top edge that makes it so much fun.
Yes.
Some of these effects are terrible. They're absolutely terrible, but they made me laugh every time I saw them. When I saw this stupid looking arm floating up to the front of the thing, or
Yes.
especially the shark at the end,
Yes.
they're bad, but they're fun bad.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is nowhere near as good of a movie as the original Jaws, obviously, but it's so fun. It's a lot more fun than the other Jaws movies. They're serious movies. This one's stupid, and I like that. I like stupid sometimes. I I like watching people in pyramid formation doing synchronized skiing while a shark fin comes up behind them. That's awesome. It's stupid, but I love it.
Yes.
So
I mean, I was surprised that there actually weren't more deaths in this movie. Like they didn't actually kill any of the skiers.
Yeah, it's pretty low on the body count.
Carnage.
Yeah. So again, reading some background stuff on it, they had a argument between a group that wanted to go for an R rating and then the group that wanted to keep it PG because the other Jaws movies are in PG. So that's probably why we didn't get as many deaths. I bet there was a group pushing for it, and I wish they had won because it would have been more fun seeing people getting eaten more often. I think during the shark rampages where the beaches and the water is full of people, Leah Thompson gets a bite out of her leg. That's it. Like, I don't think anyone dies. He just comes around and knocks a bunch of people down.
Yeah, I think there's only one death after the halfway mark.
Yeah.
This is just random technician guy. I guess no, there's the Fitzroy guy. And again, as a kid, that death is pretty scary. When you when you take out all the campiness of everything going around it, that death is pretty freaky. You're in the tunnel with a shark.
Yeah.
With no escape.
And the reveal of the body afterwards too. For all the bad special effects, that's a pretty nasty looking body. I was impressed with that one.
I also like the sort of neck and head that floats up to the window, and some lady gets her face pressed into the glass against it. That's actually, I mean, those practical effects actually are pretty fun and pretty great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the digital stuff that really falls off. It's 1983. You shouldn't have been messing with digital. It's not the time.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying about the park, and I can almost smell the cigarettes of the people, the cigarettes and beer that they were probably just handing out at the park.
Yeah,
so I watched this with my partner who's from Southern California and grew up going to SeaWorld at this time and was fully going down memory lane.
Yeah.
They have memories of being pushed in the little Shamu strollers, and they were yeah, this is exactly what it was like. And they had these little goofy dance things and water ski shows and all that stuff. So they were having a great time.
I mean, and speaking of corporate, they let them film in SeaWorld, and they fully they don't even try to mask it. Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny now considering, I mean, the SeaWorld brand has been tarnished. Let's be honest.
Yes.
It is not what it once was. So it's interesting to imagine that there was a time where they were yes, we are going to let you film here, and we're going to make the villains of the movie, the true villains of the movie, be the corporate people of this company. That is a wild choice. They were riding high on their Shamu goodwill.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to depict guests in danger being trapped in one of our underwater exhibits.
Yes,
come to our park. You might get killed by something. Who knows?
I mean, it's in the new Final Destination. There's the don't call it Space Needle. They obviously it's a Space Needle, but they call it something different just to avoid anything. It'd be as if they actually did use the real Space Needle.
I tried to look up to see if there was any information about how they managed to do this at SeaWorld, and I'm surprised there really isn't that much out there about it. I want to know, how much cocaine was involved with that decision as well.
I have a feeling there's a lot of cocaine in a lot of parts of this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much all of Hollywood in the 80s.
Yeah, people keep talking I want more 80s movies. I want the 80s come back. Well, there's just one thing everyone needs to start doing again. Then we'll get these movies. You have to have executives that are so coked out that they'll say yes to this. And then you have to have actors that were so coked out that they'll make this.
Right. And I mean, a little more backstory. At one point, they were going to make this a comedy, kind of a spoof of the first two, and have it be Jaws 3 People 0, where Pierre eventually gets killed by a shark. I think in his bathtub or in his pool or something, at the very beginning.
So Ghost Shark style?
Yeah, something like that. And then Steven Spielberg heard about this, and he put his foot down, and Steven Spielberg in the 80s could, say do anything. So he kind of rewrote everything.
Yeah, this movie did not have an easy production. It's one of those where it's this guy was attached and then he was gone, and then this one was attached and then he was gone, and then just over and over and over.
Yeah, I know they were looking at Joe Dante for a little while to direct.
That would have been
Yeah,
wild.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like that.
It was weird seeing Richard Matheson's name show up
Yes.
as the writer.
Right.
This script.
I Am Legend and Jaws 3D.
Yeah, so I mean, the guy who did get to direct this, Joe Alves, this is the only thing he's ever directed. And he was a production designer on the first 2 Jaws movies. He did Escape from New York and Close Encounters. So he's definitely like been around, but yeah, it's way to kill a career, at least as far as directing goes. Dennis Quaid plays Michael Brody. He's been in, a gazillion things. Inner Space, speaking of Joe Dante. He was recently in The Substance.
Yes.
Wyatt Earp, Enemy of Mine, also with Louis Gossett Jr. He was also in The Substance recently.
Yes.
And I looked up a couple interesting facts about Dennis Quaid. Obviously, he's the father of Jack Quaid, because this is what I do. He actually was married to PJ Souls for a little while. And him and Leah Thompson started dating after this movie, very seriously, for a couple of years. They didn't get married, though. Bess Armstrong, who plays Dr. Catherine Morgan, she was the mom in My So-Called Life. Among many other TV things.
Yep.
And she's also in the Tales from the Crypt episode of What's Cooking with Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So go see Superman. It's amazing. I cried, literally. Louis Gossett Jr. Yeah. Obviously, Officer and Gentleman, Enemy of Mine. More recently, he was in the Watchmen series, which is again fantastic. Did you guys ever watch the Iron Eagle movies in the 80s?
I think I saw them.
It's one of those that was on TV a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I watched friends' dads watching it. Does that sound?
Yes. Yeah, I definitely remember going
people who had cable.
And they're just chanting USA while watching it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, I think one of the people that came out the best of this is John Putch, who plays Sean Brody. He is actually a prolific TV director. He did many episodes of Scrubs and Cougar Town. And then this made me laugh. He also did some episodes of Son of the Beach, if you guys remember the Baywatch spoof.
Yeah.
In the late 90s, early 2000s.
Totally forgot about that, but yes.
And then Leah Thompson, Back to the Future, also did the Tales from the Crypt episode, Only Sin Deep. She did Space Camp, which if you want a really campy 80s movie, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And then she also, of course, did the amazing classic Howard the Duck.
Yes. Also Some Kind of Wonderful, which is so good.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So, this movie, it's
one of those like nice, Jason. Say 3 nice things about Jaws 3D.
It hurts all of my cinematic sensibilities. It's like an insult to every one of them. But there is an element of fun, and I'll put it's never boring, really. There's always something happening. They're always like at least flashing to like someone going over a ski thing, just to keep things moving. So yeah, it's.
I'm giving you half points for that one.
I know.
You're like, it's a picture and there's motion.
There's motion. Things are happening. I don't enjoy them or think they're good.
Here's the difference. I don't think they're good, but I enjoy them.
Yeah, that part.
That's what it is.
Like if I strictly am putting on my critic's hat, I'm gonna rip this thing apart. But where is the joy in that? I'd rather just talk about how much goofy fun I had with this movie, because there is enough here, because it's so sincere. Like they're trying to make a good movie. It's not a spoof where they're trying to we're making a bad movie, which I hate. That is like a trope that I dislike. But when someone is really trying to make something and it is so spectacularly bad that it loops back around, that's magic. And I feel like this is right there. It's just so absurd on every level.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people talk about how do you define camp. And they always say, well, you can't intentionally make camp. I think that's the best way to say it, is when you try really hard, really earnestly to make something good, but you just miss your mark really, really badly. But because you put in so much effort, it's evident on screen, and that's makes it enjoyable.
Yeah. And I also had a lot of fun watching this in 3D because it's that 80s 3D of where they really want to like impress you. And so they'll do stupid things coming towards the camera. There's all kinds of like, you walk through a door and the top of the door has a thing sticking out just so that it can stick out into the audience. Or every time something happens with the shark, these terribly composited things float up to the front of the screen. It's stupid, but it's fun. I have always wanted to watch these movies the way that the original audiences did with the 3D stuff, like Friday the 13th Part 3. It's fun on its own, but I can't wait now that I figured out how to do the red blue 3D. I can't wait to actually watch it and see, you know, the eyeball pop out or the arrow shoot across, just because that's how these movies were supposed to be seen. So I figure if I'm watching them that way, I'm getting the full experience.
I just can't wrap my head around watching a movie in red and, you know, with the red and the blue glasses.
It takes an adjustment period. Like your brain has to adjust. I found out I have to turn off like every other light. Like I can't have other lights because it throws off my depth perception somehow. But just as a whole, it's pretty fun.
And I'm not talking about the motion or anything. I'm more talking about like with the colors. That just seems so weird. No,
it's weird. I enjoy it more. I watched Creature from the Black Lagoon the same way, and that's a black and white movie, and so it was a lot less like mental processing to be able to see it. Like it looked really good in black and white 3D.
And also, I do think the next one's even worse than this one. So you really come down on this one. Wait till next week.
That one, it's like famously bad, but I don't know if it comes back around. Like
no,
my understanding is it's just bad. Although I'm sure you'll talk about like Michael Caine's infamous quote about it, like when you get there. Little tease for folks next week.
So Jody, I'm going to ask you now for a weekly update of what your ranking is of the sequels. Do you prefer the campiness of this one over 2?
I think I'm going to have to put this one as my second place, just because Part 2, I think, is an actual good movie, but so much of it is the same as Part 1. Like it's just the same movie back to back with, you know, minor variations and some character stuff. So this one's at least different and it has a lot of fun. So yeah, at this point, 3, 1, 3, 2 so far.
Join us on the right side of history, Jason. Team Joy.
I loved watching Superman this weekend, so I got all my joy taken care of. So
you hit your ceiling.
Yeah, all my joy was spent. All right, Rachel, what do you rank this movie on the scale of 0 to 5? 5 being the best, 0 being the worst. You can do half points.
I mean, in all, I have to be intellectually honest in this rating. So I'm going to balance my actual enjoyment versus the quality of the film and put it right down the middle at a 2.5.
That's fair. Jody?
Yeah, I've been making similar calculations. If I was just ranking how much I enjoyed it, you know, we're up in the 4s and 5 territory. If we're talking just strictly as a movie, we're down in like the 1s and 2s. So I'm going to go with the 3 because it's got a little bit of both of those.
Wow.
I like that.
You guys have brought me up very slightly. Yeah. I'm going with like a 2. It could be much worse.
Okay, we'll take it.
2 is respectable for a movie that has this graphic that's on our screens right now in it. 2 is great.
Yeah, I think you know, like 10-year-old Jason would have been like, oh, this is like a 4. You know, I probably recognized how bad some parts were, but I was like having time of my life with it. But
I mean,
this age,
I feel like that should bump it a half a point. You know,
that's what I did.
10-year-old.
I did that
already. Listen, I'm still whipping the vote. Okay, I'm not done yet.
You keep whipping.
See, this is the one though that I watched the original Jaws with my kids because it's one of those like this is a classic. You need to see it. I watched Jaws 2 by myself, and I don't know if they're going to even care to watch that one. This one, though, I'm going to definitely watch with them because it's fun and stupid. It's just a good time.
Nice.
I just don't think they'll care about 2. Just teenagers.
Teenagers. All right, let's take a quick break and do a shout out. Did I miss something?
Just
I don't know.
Just a moment of pure honesty. Blah.
Okay, I've got 2 11-year-olds. Yeah,
Okay,
who are like
I mean,
way already like.
I was not disputing your blah. I was co-signing. It was funny that on Dads from the Crypt, a child came up and you went blah.
More conceptual teenagers, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Heidi Haddad from Slumber Party Massacre 2, Friday the 13th, and Society. You're listening to Dads from the Crypt.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Now those are campy 80 movies I can get behind.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Love that.
100%.
All right. For song of the day, Rachel, did you want to do yours? Do you want to do yours?
It's up to you. I'll leave it
You
up
do
to you.
yours.
You're the okay. All right. So I mean, I'm sure that there is a very rigorous sort of rubric for how these songs are chosen. And
No.
So I'm going to do
Vibes.
Mondo, whatever the opposite of proud is right now with my choice. I wanted to pick something in a genre that I like, and my favorite genre of music is Riot Girl. So I was like, okay, is there anything Sharky? Is there anything that works? And what I came up with, now this is loose, but stay with me. I'm going to go with Bait and Switch, because Bait kind of loosely related, right? By Emily's Sassy Lime, which is a palindrome, by the way. It's taken from their Dippity Doo Nut album, and it in addition to being a palindrome, it also refers to ESL, which is what they would shorten it to, because it was at the time, the only all-femme, all-Asian American punk riot girl band. So it was formed in Pasadena, which is the other reason I picked it, your hometown, Jason, in 1993.
Don't dox me.
Oh, sorry. Do you not talk about that?
Kidding.
Okay.
No, we talked about that.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? You have editing control. You are the god of this pod. You can decide if that's going to stay in or get out.
I feel like revealing the name of the large city that Jason lives in versus like revealing the name of the city I live in, where there's only 4,000 people. You'd probably find me if you knew the city name. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Especially since I don't leave my house. So
party.
All right. Back to Rachel.
So yes, it was founded in a town in Southern California that I won't say again, by 3 Asian American teenagers, Wendy Yao, Amy Yao, and their friend Emily Ryan, after they snuck out to see a show, which is like a dream show of Bikini Kill and Bratmobile. They came home and they started a band in their garage. So if everybody out there, get into a little bit of Emily's Sassy Lime, Bait and Switch.
nice. I don't know. That sounds great. Thank you. I don't know if this qualifies as Riot Girl music, but I've been getting on my like YouTube feeds and stuff. The singer called Scene Queen. Are you familiar?
I'm
I
not
am
familiar with Scene Queen.
It's kind of a
Riot Girl.
metal rap.
No, then no.
Yeah.
But I'm
Okay,
sure.
well,
It's still
I think she has Riot Girl energy at least. That's
Oh, yeah,
what
no,
I-
absolutely.
how I feel.
I'll take that.
So.
Scene Queen. I'm gonna check it out. I'm like an old
Um,
person that listens to like all the music I grew up with. You know what I mean? Like I'm that
Mhm.
many years old, or I'm just like all new music is terrible.
Well, the only way I know about it again is the algorithm gives it to me. So there it is. Some reason it thinks I like that. The one I just want to throw out the one I had in mind. I do mine by free association. So again, we have Dennis Quaid, who plays in this band, Dennis Quaid and the Sharks, who's also the quarterback, and then given Sunday quarterbacking the fake football team, the Sharks. So I was looking at the Any Given Sunday soundtrack, and there's Kid Rock. I could have gone with Kid Rock just to really fuck with Mondo, but I didn't want to do that. I'm not that mean. But there is a song by a band called Godsmack called simply Why. And that's what I was thinking a lot as I watched this movie. Why?
Money, cocaine. That's why.
All right, Jody, it's your time to do the horror news.
All right. So let's start with a couple of releases. David Cronenberg's new movie, The Shrouds, is doing a limited theatrical release. And also VOD right now and on the Criterion channel. So you need some more Cronenberg in your life. I don't know a lot about that one yet. Have you seen this one, Rachel?
I have indeed.
I was going to say, you made a big face right there. So I was going to ask, what's
it's really something. It is his. I happened to watch it the same week. I had just coincidentally rewatched The Brood, which is like his divorce movie. And this one is his like widower movie. And I'm still processing my feelings. It's been a few months. But because I'm trying to find a way to like it. It is pretty misogynistic. It's rough. But it's gonna spur a lot of interesting conversation. So I do like that about it. But oh boy.
I have heard that it's Cronenberg of like working through issues as he tends to do.
His grief is very much about the loss of his wife's body and not so much the person that lived inside it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I will say, you know, a lot of nudity, a lot of sexy times. It is that lane of his oeuvre.
The Crash, David Cronenberg. Okay.
I mean, it's like a lot of her body is slowly like being taken apart medically but he still wants to fuck it. You know? So yeah, there's something for everyone. Get into it.
All right. Well, a very similar movie is also available on VOD now. Hot Spring Shark Attack that I just saw at Chattanooga Film Fest, and it's delightful. And it isn't about anybody's grief. It's about sharks in a sauna eating people. It's not like a good movie. It's a fun movie though. So based on how you feel about the movie we're talking about tonight, go watch Hot Spring Shark Attack. Unless you hate Jaws 3D, and then maybe it's not for you.
No, we're definitely going to cover it in August. So
yeah. We also have a movie called Don't Log Off. That's like an influencer type thing with the Screen Life, kind of like Unfriended or Host. I don't know much about it other than it came out on VOD today, and I kind of like the Screen Life stuff. I think it's interesting, so I'm going to check it out. We also got a trailer for Bambi: The Reckoning. Do I get to talk about good movies anymore when I'm talking about stuff coming up? It's all of these public domain movies. I mean, I'm gonna.
Are those the movies that, like, in 30 years, people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's great camp." People just don't appreciate it at the time.
Maybe,
like we're talking about this movie.
I mean, I thought Blood and Honey Part 2 was kind of fun. Like it's silly and campy in a fun way. So yeah, maybe. Speaking of silly and potentially campy, A24 is making a raunchy practical creature movie called The Goblin that's being described as Ted meets E.T. That's all we know right now. But it's A24 and it's a creature. And, you know, we're in the age that creatures are starting to come back. Frankie Frico graced our screens in the last year, a gnome named Norm. So, yeah, maybe we're going to go through a little monster renaissance. I'm ready for it.
The party goblins. Bring them back. They harken to a simpler time.
I love a little monster.
I will tell you the other movie I watched this week for a podcast for Mortally was Critters 3. So I'm primed.
I love Critters 3. Leo's first appearance.
Yes.
That's
I was just like, this was a pure time. I feel
Yes.
like.
There's just something special about little monster movies, from Gremlins to Ghoulies to Critters. Yeah. Puppets, Puppet Master, all that stuff. I just love all that shit. All right. Speaking of Frankie Frico, Steven Kostanski is remaking Deathstalker, the sword and sorcery Roger Corman classic. It was a cheesy movie in the 80s when it was made, and I cannot wait for Steven's take on it because I like his vibe in general, and he's taking on the right kind of franchise. Plus, it's a modern sword and sorcery movie. If you look up pictures of it online, it looks like the Hercules series. Like, it looks real silly, and I am here for that. I enjoy silly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. In toy news, because I'm me, NECA is making a Halloween H2O Michael Myers. So I am going to slowly collect all of the terrible masks that they made for that series as they release new characters with horrible masks. Part 5, I think, is probably the worst one. I'm looking forward to that someday, having that awful looking thing. But yeah, that's about it. There's not a ton going on right now, unless y'all know of anything that I missed.
I sent you something. Robert Englund is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That's right. I actually had that in my notes, and I forgot to put it on my computer.
I even sent you a thing about it just to make sure, because I figured you would put it, but you didn't mention it. So
yeah, I was intending on it. But yeah, Robert Englund's getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Halloween, so even better.
I'm seriously considering skipping work and trying to go to that.
Yes, of course.
You should.
You can make it there.
There'll be work the next day. There will not be another opportunity to see him get a star on the Walk of Fame. If I were in Southern California, I absolutely would join you. Yeah. That sounds awesome.
The only thing is it's Halloween day, so it's like, what am I going to need to be there picking up my kids from? Oh, my kids have a Halloween parade every year on that day, so we'll see.
It's got to balance all the timing out.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can drive through LA very quickly, right? You get in and out.
There's never any traffic.
Just take public transit. You guys have a great train system
Great,
there. It'll be great. It'll be great. Bullet train, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah. Didn't they also announce that Demi Moore is getting a star as well?
Yes, Demi Moore is getting a star, and who was the other one?
That just seems really meta with the Substance right now.
Did you know that Dennis Quaid was in the Substance?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
What you need to listen back to that section.
Yeah, you're good.
Because you mentioned it very enthusiastically, said a couple more things, and then mentioned it just as enthusiastically the second time.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of great.
You just, in the flow, I didn't want to interrupt.
He just
we were
eats
moving along
those shrimps. He just eats those shrimps so passionately. I really thought he should have gone to war for that.
Yeah.
Best
You
shrimp
had to
eater
double
in
dip
film
just
of the
like
year.
he did. I get it.
Oh boy. Where do we go from here, folks? I don't have any I don't have any dad advice. I don't have any dad advice queued up, but
I was gonna say take your kids to amusement parks in the 80s because that would have been fun, but it's too late. So sorry.
That's what I should have done, is found some tips for surviving amusement parks with your kids with shark attacks.
I mean, I think at this point, don't go to SeaWorld is kind of the general tip because, a lot's come out since this movie. Although I have heard that they have made a new turn towards conservation and less towards, exploiting animals. So I don't know if that's true, but at least that's what I've heard. So maybe that's a good thing. I mean, it is a good thing if it's real.
Speaking of wacky amusement parks, I know there's still some of them, but they're much bigger back in the 80s and 90s. Do you guys ever go to Anheuser-Busch?
No.
Busch Gardens?
Busch Gardens? Yeah.
I'd always heard about it, but I never made it out there.
Oh, yeah. They give out free beer at the amusement parks. It's a scene. It was a scene, man. Actually, I think we did a school field trip.
Well, The closest thing you can find to that like 80s amusement park that still exists around here, Dollywood is still up and running.
I
And
want to
it
go to
is
Dollywood so
Dolly Parton.
badly.
Yeah, she came from East Tennessee, and so she does a lot for East Tennessee. She's, there's a reason she's not a billionaire, is because she gives away a ton of money and does a lot of good stuff. That's how people who have billions are not necessarily good people. But Dolly Parton is a good person, and Dollywood still exists, and it still has that like old timey park feel to it. The last time I went, so yeah, go to Dollywood. That's my dad advice. Make your trip out to Tennessee. Go to the Smoky Mountains. Go to Dollywood.
How far is it from Chattanooga? Maybe I need to like come to the festival next year and then go to Dollywood. Is it doable?
You could probably make it there in a couple hours. It's not too bad.
I mean, I'm from
There you
California. Everything's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a couple hours away. Maybe 3. Maybe, I don't know, somewhere around there though. Not too bad.
I really want to go. Okay, so I'm gonna double dox you, Jason. I want to talk about a
Mhm.
weird amusement park that I have been to. Have you been to the Enchanted Forest?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, that
This is when
weird
our organist
busted ass. Yes.
our because we both grew up in Oregon, obviously different parts, but yeah, there's this
Yeah.
place called Enchanted Forest that's like based on all like the license free public domain like fairy tales, like Three Little Bears. I haven't been since I was a kid, but I definitely, but it's like one of those ones where it's like these big like plaster, like bigger than life kind of displays, like those huge fake trees you could run through. I remember going in those, and just lots of like
And everything's in slight disrepair. So like the blue fairy
Mhm.
will come out, but she's like missing 3 fingers. So it's like an unintentional house of horrors. Highly
Mhm.
recommend. You
I love it.
probably will die because if the blue fairy doesn't have fingers, I'm not really sure about the breaks on the rides, but you should do it anyway.
Oh,
Die
man.
doing something you love. it is so talk about like kind of camp and low rent, but also
Mhm.
incredible. The Enchanted Forest. It's like a family owned
Is it?
amusement park.
It's still in operation, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, it was a couple of years ago when I went back. Yeah.
I probably haven't been since I was a kid, like in the 90s or something. I'm looking it up
Well,
right now.
as far as I
This is
know,
great
it's still
podcasting.
going. Now, granted, that was pre-pandemic, so who knows what survived and what didn't
Sure.
survive the panini. But it, as of
All
like
right.
a few years ago, it was still open.
Oh, and Rachel,
It's
you can
open
get to
every day.
Dollywood from Chattanooga in 2.5 hours.
I can
Easy.
see.
Easy.
I'm just saying, field trip. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
How much are?
Sorry, I've sent you down.
I'm
a
just
Google
curious how
rabbit
much
hole.
tickets are now.
Jason's
I know.
planning his vacation now.
$25.
Yeah,
not bad.
right. This is great content. This
I
is
don't know
good. This is
why.
good. No,
Okay, yeah,
Jason,
like
don't
there's a
stop.
huge
Keep
like
going. This is really heating up.
there's like on their website. There's a big like plaster Humpty Dumpty, just like really creepily like laughing. That's
It
the kind of
is
thing we're talking about.
So creepy.
Excellent.
It's
Tell me you dropped
incredible.
acid there.
No, I'm terrible at drugs. I mean, like I'll drink beer and stuff, but I'm terrible at drugs, which is great because like you have one
Fine.
person who is. Yeah, I know. Well, I'll tell you off air.
Here's a really fun amusement park story. When my oldest came down, see, my oldest used to live with his mother, and we kind of get split custody, but I would always have him for spring break. And I wanted to like do a really fun spring break one year, like just kind of go all out, go to a bunch of different amusement parks. So we went to Six Flags in California, Southern California. I hadn't been to a real amusement park in many years, and there's things that happen when you get older to your body that things affect it in different ways you don't
Tell me
expect.
about it.
Like especially once you like get on that blood pressure medication, et cetera, et cetera. So the first ride we go on is that one. It's the Wonder Woman ride, where it's like the big like UFO looking thing that you get on, and it spins really really fast, and you push yourself up against it, and it goes like up in the air,
Like a
and it tilts.
Gravitron kind of
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, like a Gravitron. But this is like the one I remember very specific. Was the Wonder Woman one. First ride we go on, I get the worst vertigo of my life. I could not walk straight.
No.
It was like I didn't puke because I don't think I had anything in my stomach at that time. But like
Oh,
I was like stumbling around. My son, he must have been like 10. So he's like, Dad, what's wrong? And like I could walk like 10 feet and then have to sit down because I was just like I could not get like my sense of gravity figured out.
How
Eventually
long did it last?
what turns out what they had, and I've always thought these things were stupid in the Fed, they had an oxygen bar.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out that's one way to get yourself back regulated was to, take oxygen. I
What?
went to the oxygen bar and just sitting there. I felt like such a dumb, whenever I see someone on oxygen bar, like that guy's a prick. I don't know. It's just the kind of thing that,
Hipsters were right. Damn.
and yeah, it got me good enough to function. I didn't go on any rides myself the rest of the day because I was too afraid of like quote relapsing. But I was able to at least like parents, because it's kind of freaky to be in the middle of a amusement park with just you and your kid, and suddenly you're not feeling good, and then
Strongly
It's like
impaired,
that
yeah.
part in Darkman where he's like in the carnival. And, yeah.
yes,
So have you been to an amusement
that's
park
my
since?
Hmm?
Have you been to an amusement park since? Have you been able to ride since?
Yeah, I've gone a little bit. I think it was the spinning that really did it. So now I do
Yeah.
more like I've never been a big amusement park person to begin with.
Okay.
I like roller coasters that like will go like straight. If they like do twists, upside down stuff, I don't deal with that. I don't fuck with that. But yeah,
Okay.
good times.
Grandpa's from the Crypt. Okay.
Exactly.
Hey, just to balance this out, I didn't go to Disney till I was 30, and when I did go the first time, I rode everything, and I had a good time. So just for balance, some of us
Nice.
are
There you go.
younger at heart.
I mean,
Yes.
Disney rides are a little bit different than like Six Flags.
That is
Let's
true.
just put it
That's
that way.
true. Six Flags does have a little bit more jankiness to it.
I guess that's fair.
yeah.
We always used to go to Six Flags Atlanta when I was growing up, and
Mhm.
it was fun, but you never quite felt like the rides weren't going to break at some point compared to like
they have like the all wood. I know one of them has like an all wood roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. They've got the Big Dipper, which is like an old wood one. I love those though. I don't know.
I bet.
Although who knows?
All right.
I haven't been. Oh. I'm a little slow today.
Have I told you about Dennis Quaid?
I don't know. What has he been in recently? Where has he been? Where did he go?
Oh
What
man,
have
he was
been
so
up to?
good in Substance, man.
Never heard of
He
it.
got
I don't know
snubbed.
what you're talking about.
All right. Well, that wraps up another episode. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people follow you?
Absolutely. I'm going to do this. I'm so excited to get a second shot at this. I don't know why my brain went completely blank, but you can find me on the More Deadly podcast, where we have a lot of great shows coming up with women directors whose names I definitely know, including, as I alluded to earlier, our interview with Destry Allen Spielberg for her first feature film, Please Don't Feed the Children. We also have a great episode out now with on Abraham's Boys from Natasha Kermani, and upcoming we've got the I Know What You Did Last Summer and Critters 3. So there's lots of great stuff. Definitely come check it out. It is very much a celebration of women who are making films, whose names I most certainly know. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me at ZG Podcasts on all the platforms or at Rachy Pants.
Thank you. All right.
So polished.
Well, all right. We appreciate everyone for listening. We would really appreciate if you give us a rating review on iTunes, a rating on Spotify, a like and subscribe on YouTube, and follow us at Dads from the Crypt Talk on TikTok. And with that, we thank you for listening to Dads from the Crypt.
Follow Dads from the Crypt on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or I will follow you to the grave. No, seriously, you really should watch. But be careful what you ask for. You may get it.